I wanted to talk about honest communication during a medical consultation. So I know for me, when I go to a new doctor and you get all that paperwork, you might get it through electronic links or paperwork, and you have to fill out the medical history. The more information you have in your medical history, it kind of feels a little frustrating and repetitious. And you might even be late for the appointment. I know you have to sit down and fill all these forms, and you're like, well, there is a reason for that. We do need that information because it's important to the visit that you're about to have. Now, I know that most of us, we may grumble, or, if there's some other issues that's kind of percolating into the current space of the visit, you might be a little grumpy about filling out the forms, but, most of us will fill it out to the most of our recollection. Yeah, we'll forget a medication, or maybe we'll forget a minor surgery or something, but to the best of our ability, we're going to do that. So when you come in, usually, at least in my office, your information is downloaded from the app, and then we have our team members who will go over the relevant information, not all of it. And so sometimes we're able to kind of fill in some spaces that's important. Because when I come to talk to you, I want to know that we're communicating with all the information, okay? So what happens though, if you're the kind of woman who's like, okay, I want to do a thing, I have a goal, I have an agenda, maybe I just don't like the over-medicalization of child rearing and childbirth, sorry, not child rearing, but childbirth. And you're going to kind of cherry pick what information you're going to put in and omit certain information to help you achieve that goal. I'm just going to say that's probably not a wise idea. And I remember hearing from my elders, as you're listening to them, they're two experts and professionals you really don't want to lie to. And that's your attorney and that's your doctor, because you are coming to them to help you, and you don't want to hear, well, we're going to give you this information or give you this recommendation, and they don't have the full picture. That can lead to disasters. Example, medications. It's so important that we know what your medications are on. Now, luckily, the systems are such that if we're prescribing a medication, it's not foolproof, but more than likely the pharmacy is able to alert us to an interaction with the current medication that you're on versus the medication that we're about to prescribe to you. However, it kind of makes us look silly if we didn't know that you were on that particular medication to begin with. It sometimes happens by omission, but if you're going to deliberately omit it, not a good idea, because it's only going to hurt you. There are catastrophic events that can occur based on information that we did not have. So I want you, speaking to those who, are thinking that they want an endpoint where they want a situation or they want a condition or they want an experience, and you're not feeling like you're going to get that experience because you have some medical complications that are going to, make the likelihood of a safe delivery or safe recommendation from whatever medical expert different from what you want, please remember that as medical experts, we are here to help you. Okay? Any information that we don't have because you hadn't given it to us, we can't help you if we don't have the full picture. That's number one. The information doesn't mean that it's an automatic exclusion or inclusion of whatever you perceive or think you're going to hear. And we do know that you're coming in with another expert opinion called Dr. Google, and that's okay. There's a place for discussion where we can sit in the well of shared space, talk about what you think, what you read, and what we have from our decades of training as medical experts. Now, some experts are kind of paternalistic, some are open-minded, so that may be a factor of the person's personality, but you have to be able to distinguish that from what you're hearing in the facts. And sometimes it's not always easy when we're kind of living in our left brain space and listening. However, the time of the consultation is where you should say, okay, I have this thing, but I want that thing, and I want to know if there's a way to mitigate something and have a creative solution where I can get the best of both worlds. Okay? And then after all that is done, you can process it, read your notes, talk to your partners, and then make an informed decision. Now, here's the thing. There's a thing called a Bill of Rights. Nobody says that because your expert recommends this thing, says you have to do it. Now, if you elect not to do it and you are okay with the potential consequences and you want to play chicken with the information, guess what? It's your choice. But at the end of the day, there is trust between you and your doctor. We know where you're coming from. You know where we're coming from. And then we can move forward together to make the best informed decision that you're comfortable with. All right? So this is Dr. Heather Stanley. I'm at Unity Maternal Fetal Medicine. Our brick and mortar office is in Claremont, Florida. You can get us at on the websites unitymfm.com or on the social media at unitymfm. We do pride ourselves in highly individualized care. We do sit down and we are the office. I am the doctor that will sit down because I love those conversations. You know, I love to have a chat with Dr. Google, and because it gives me an opportunity to educate, to help you understand what your disease looks like, what the chances are, what are the horrific risk factors, and, you know, kind of also figure out where you're coming from so that we can, you know, create a plan that's satisfactory to you. It's not even so much satisfactory to me because at the end of the day, it's your care, it's your health. But you've asked for my opinion, I've given it to you, and then there's an openness to sit down and say, okay, well, now how can we, you know, manipulate the situation in such a way that it keeps you safe, but also helps you to achieve the goal that you're trying to achieve. All right? So I want you to walk good. Don't forget to breathe. Sometimes we have to listen and press the emotions, the negative emotions on pause so that you can hear everything that you need to hear. See you next week.